Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Monkey.
And
Staffslinger.
And BlueDragonFive.
And tonight, we are... We're talking Mr. Banks. Yes, sir, we're talking Mr. Banks. For some reason I have a British accent there. We're talking Mr. Banks.
It's the Olga effect.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. So,
Well, everyone's British in Star Wars. It's fine.
gentlemen, guess what? Guess what?
What?
Who?
Star Wars! Star Wars! No, I'm actually not that excited about it.
Huzzah!
and I haven't even seen this thing, so...
Alright, so Staffslinger, you want to introduce yourself since this is the first time you've been on the channel?
I'm Staffslinger. I am formerly a nerd, do like nerdy things, and I'm just here to talk about it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm excited.
Your audio is kind of coming in and out there.
Am I here now?
Yeah, that actually does sound a lot better, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so welcome to our channel. Good to have you.
Yes. Oh, yes. We've been wanting to do podcasts for a while, so I'm glad it's finally happened.
You know, to quote Star Wars, I got a good feeling about this one.
Okay.
I'm a misquote, mind you.
So see, there's Staffslinger, my regular crew welcoming you in with open arms. All right, so...
The Force is strong with this one. I like it.
yeah. Okay, so Monkey, you actually have a revelation for us.
I might have said all right, but yeah, big surprise. I have not seen this teaser yet, so I'm going to be out here in a few minutes.
Kill him with fire!
But Monkey, many Bothans died to bring us this trailer.
I'm sure I'll see it eventually. I just don't know when and how.
It's
Like
okay.
the Bothan killed my father.
It's only a teaser.
In another life.
Not like a real trailer.
He's got a point, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a teaser, technically, so...
But it's kind of nice to hold us over for a while.
The movie
Yeah,
comes out in 2015, yeah?
It's a morsel. It's a morsel. It's a nice little dish. Before we get into that, though, I've got a silly little nonsense that I want to run by you, just because...
Yeah, this is why I'm still here.
Yes. So we all know that Disney is going to make spin-off after spin-off after spin-off when it comes to Star Wars, right?
Yes.
Kevin's like, unfortunately.
Yeah, they'll make a TV series out of that one Gungan in the corner of the
Oh,
screen.
God.
But then again, I mean, Star Wars is a franchise that's just ready to be milked. I mean, look at... Can it really be any worse than how Lucas treated it? No, not really.
I
Do
mean,
you think they'll do
all-
another holiday special?
God, I hope. No, I want them to do a fucking Star Tours Christmas. That's what I want.
Right, the Star Tours holiday special.
It's a Star Tours holiday.
Oh, that actually sounds kind of cool.
Right?
I mean, at least Disney has like the wherewithal to treat their franchises with respect.
Oh, yeah.
Rather than where it was before, you know, where it was being kind of milked like this sad cow.
Oh, I did this one creative thing with my life.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, did you hear Buzz got recalled?
Ha ha.
What?
It's
I'm just
it's a
referencing a thing.
There's this thing called Circle 7. I'm not going to get into it. Let's just say it was nasty business.
Just the Toy Story 3 before Toy Story 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the plot was Buzz Lightyear gets recalled. That's all I need to get into right now. But
Okay, so,
am I the only
So-
one not down on the idea of spin-offs?
well, let's run through the possible spin-offs. You got Young Yoda, you got Boba Fett, you got an Obi-Wan trilogy possibly, Bounty Hunters, Jabba's Palace. All really cool action adventures, right? Like,
I
that's
just want
the
to
key
see.
word.
You say young Yoda. I want to see Yoda as a rebellious teenager. My mother, you are not.
Well, what if he talked? What if he spoke normal? Then got like hit on the head or something? Something happens in his movie. Then he gets that way.
I have an idea that I actually stole from another podcast, so
yes.
to Screen Junkies, yeah. in their movie fight series. I heard this idea and I had to run with it. Someone suggested, especially since this franchise made a lot of money the first time out when they rebooted it, but then the sequel kind of flopped. So this would be a great way to get this franchise. Yeah, this would be a great way to get this particular franchise back off the ground. Like I said, it's probably going to sound like a really stupid idea. What if they do a Muppet Star Wars movie?
I could see it. I could see it.
You could see it? Right on, right on.
but building on Monkey's idea, I want to see Luke going through a midlife crisis. I want that in a Star Wars movie.
Well, he's a little past midlife right now. That's the only issue.
Yeah.
Well, final quarter life crisis movie?
Final quarter life.
He decides to take out his frustrations by going against a guy who dresses as a bat.
He's like buying a whole bunch of... God.
Well, you know, we kind of already got a Star Wars Muppet Star Wars, I should say.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Remember, there's the Muppet Show episode where basically they meet the cast of Star Wars and they kind of...
You mean like that toy line thing? Like those little action figure things?
No. I mean, there's literally an episode of the Muppet Show where they meet Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to that.
I
Okay.
remember this.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Dressing up like Leia, having the iconic hair and everything. That was the thing. So that's why I could totally picture that as a thing.
All right, well, if you want, guys, I have a whole Muppet Star Wars cast list that I could quickly go down. Want to hear it? Really quick?
Sure.
Okay. For Luke Skywalker, I have given that role to Walter, the new sort of face of the Muppets, the main character, the everyman, if you will, going on this epic journey.
All right.
Really, I pictured that as
good.
a Kermit.
Well, yeah, speaking of Kermit, though, I think Han Solo would probably make the perfect Kermit.
I don't know. Kermit's not that confident to be Han Solo, though.
Kind of silly, yeah.
I see it, yeah. So I assume Kermit's not first.
Han Solo just because Piggy is the perfect Leia, and you've got to have that love interest going on. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking like Gonzo kind of struck me more of a Han Solo type.
It was between him and Gonzo. Yeah.
Hero, the archetypal hero character.
Well, Fozzie has to be Chewie.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay,
Walter and or Statler and Waldorf, or they
Or
R2D2 and C3PO.
No, I kind of took some liberties with them.
Boy, Dr. Honeydew and Bieber, they can be R2D2 and C3PO.
Yes, those are R2D2, C3PO.
There you go.
I assume Beaker is R2?
Yes.
And it's just a really tall coin.
It's like a reverse size thing.
Right, exactly.
Oh, R2D2, it is you.
Okay, Statler and Waldorf, they'd be broken up into the two old guys of the franchise. One of them would be a very cranky, curmudgeony Obi-Wan, and the other would be the Emperor.
Couldn't Sandy Eagle be Obi-Wan or someone crabby? Oh,
I had Sam Eagle as the
Governor
Red Leader.
Tarkin?
No, Red Leader.
Oh, Red.
Or what if the Emperor was broken up into both Statler and Waldorf?
I could totally see that. Okay,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know. I gotta tell you, Sam really strikes me as Obi-Wan, because he'd be kind of the serious one saying, "What a bunch of weirdos."
Well, I think Han Solo's the one that's saying, "What a bunch of weirdos."
Good point.
Okay, I don't know. Let's see. Of course, the Cantina band would be led by Dr. Teeth. Without Animal, Animal would be doing another side act somewhere.
Can he be the Rancor? Can Animal be the Rancor?
No, but he could be Max Rebo.
Yeah.
Max Rebo.
Yeah.
I just want to know who's Jabba.
Oh, I couldn't figure that one out, so I just...
No, Rolf would be Max Rebo.
I had Rolf as Lando.
Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster could be Jabba.
Yes.
Cookie Monster actually could be Jabba.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, and a couple really fun ones just off the top of my head from the prequels that they probably wouldn't include, but be kind of funny. If they wanted to have Watto in there, they could have another offensive stereotype and do the Swedish Chef.
Wait. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think. Oh, you mean Watto from Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
And then...
Wait, who's Vader? Who's Vader in all of this?
That's a very important question. Is it Gonzo?
Yes, he's Gonzo.
Because he was in the Muppets show.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so this other prequel character?
Okay, the other prequel character, Monkey, you're excited about this.
Is it Camilla?
No. Jar Jar will be played by Waldo, the spirit of 3D.
Right.
Vision 3D.
Okay, but then who's Darth Maul? Prequels.
Oh, that's a good question. Well, first of all,
Camilla has to be Padme. Camilla should be Padme.
The stormtroopers are the penguins. I think that goes without saying.
No, shouldn't the penguins be stormtroopers?
That's what I just said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a bad connection there.
As for Darth Maul, I don't know. That's a good question. Who do you think, Kevin?
Was
The Snuffleupagus.
That'd be too impractical.
What about just Sweetums being Darth Maul?
Yeah. Uncle Deadly, perhaps?
I could actually see that.
Boy, what about Pepe? Could Pepe be Darth Maul?
Actually, I had Pepe in there. Shit.
Could it be Grievous because he has all the arms?
Pepe is Admiral Ackbar.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
It's a trap, okay?
It's a trap.
Okay, that's perfect.
I get it now.
It's a trap, okay? It's a trap.
Yeah, and because he's seafood.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And Boba Fett would be Rizzo.
Rizzo.
Yes, thank you. Rizzo.
Yeah, actually, it'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Because he's selfish and out for himself and whatnot. All right.
Actually, couldn't Rizzo be Obi-Wan because he get old friends with Anakin?
I guess. Just an idea, and like I said, I like this idea actually just because I like anything that would bring the Muppets into what would be, like kind of a surefire box office hit. I think this would be, and so I'm all for it. I want this idea to happen.
Wait a second. What if there's throwing this out there? What if Kermit was Luke? You know who could be Darth Vader?
Who?
Constantine.
Oh no.
Yeah. God. Like maybe Constantine is the Emperor. Maybe.
Oh.
Like yes. Yes, your anger is very strong. Now unleash it, Gillian, and take its place on my side.
Hold on. There's someone that hasn't. There's a very important person that hasn't been cast yet. I mean, the Swedish chef very clearly needs a role here.
Well, I said Swedish chef. The best I could do for him was Watto because Watto was another.
Let's give him something better than Watto. Come on,
all right.
Something better than Watto.
The guy who gets force choked.
What about Greedo? Remember, Greedo doesn't speak English.
Yes,
Greedo.
Oh, hell yes!
Okay, just tell them about Ringo. Yes, I'll bet you have. Reward.
Sorry for the mess.
All right.
Who wants Swedish meatballs?
Oh dear.
We've distracted, I think.
Yeah, the lead has been buried. Yeah, get out of here, monkey. You're not welcome.
We don't stir your kind here.
Fine. Guys, farewell. Nice to meet you, Staffslinger.
Oh yeah, good to meet you, monkey. I'm waving.
Yep. Okay. See you in the future.
Bye.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Goodbye. Yes, I want to close all tabs.
What?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, there we go.
And he's gone.
All right, so teaser. Staffslinger, I told you to go watch this as soon as you woke up. If I remember correctly, you were somewhat underwhelmed, right?
Yeah, I didn't like the mix of CGI and practical effects. I felt there was a clash, but I assumed that that it's just a teaser and that will be better in the final product.
Yeah, I mean, we do have like a year to get to post-production and everything like that, so...
Yeah.
Okay, well, do you guys mind? I just have there's like 6, 7 main shots in the trailer that I just kind of want to go through, and then, let's just be ridiculously nerdy and speculate about what it could possibly mean. What could it mean?
Right.
All right.
Okay, well, let's see. Yeah, sure. Take us through.
Okay, so the trailer starts with a very ominous voiceover.
Andy Serkis.
Oh, is it Andy Serkis? It's a big
And he sounds...
Andy Serkis.
I believe it's Andy Serkis, and he sounds awfully sinister, which makes you think he may or may not be a villain.
I would not be surprised to see Serkis as a villain at all.
Now, I'm wondering, do you think they go as far as to recast him as the Emperor?
I don't know.
He does motion capture a lot, so maybe they could literally recreate the Emperor and have this guy be doing kind of... He brought back from the dead. Maybe he sounds a little different.
But isn't the guy who played the Emperor still alive?
Okay. Here's my question: Who is that? Who's that actor that first pops up?
That would be John Boyega.
Yeah.
He was on what shows have you been on? BlueDragonFive, you know?
I'm trying to think. This guy.
I want to say Attack. No, not Attack of the Show. That's a video game.
There, I got nothing to. This guy was pretty much. I had to look up this guy because I had no idea who he was going into this.
Well, hold on. I'll do a quick.
My second question search. Is this like new lore or like? Are we
It's new stuff.
This is new lore, right?
Yeah, pretty much they said no expanded universe stuff, but then again they might be inspired slightly by the basically I wouldn't be surprised if Han and Leia had twins.
Is like the Clone Saga, like is that all? Are there like so are stormtroopers not all clones now or like?
Well, what I heard from a very reliable source, I heard from someone who's really who's like I guess who's trained in the ways of the expanded universe. I heard that the idea that's kind of been seeded in is that the stormtroopers at some point there are clones that are stormtroopers, but also maybe they ran out at some point, got really low, and pretty much then they recruited regular schmoes to be in the costumes. I like that theory myself, and I think it's a way to make everyone happy.
Run out of clones.
Well, I mean, they had died off in the Clone Wars, a bunch of them, and obviously the cloning thing got shut down at some point.
Okay. So they shut down the cloning.
Well, I think it's presumed.
John Boyega was on a movie called Attack of the Block, where he plays a character called Moses, and that's about his only credited film role. So let's talk about just all the implications of that first shot of Boyega popping up. He's all disheveled and everything, running. He appears to be running away.
Remember, we're on Tatooine, and we hear Andy Serkis say in this scene, there's been an awakening. Have you felt it? Then we see the guy. We see John Boyega pop up.
Okay.
So,
hello?
Yeah?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Slinger. It's kind of a running gag here, a lot of technical difficulty, but let's keep going with it. So, yeah, John Boyega, he pops up. What do you think of it?
John Boyega?
Oh, yeah, the stormtrooper. Well, the guy dressed like a stormtrooper, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, he pops up, and there's... I was just confused. But you can just explain it to me, so I'm not really confused much anymore about that.
Sure. Let me run this by you. So here's the people speculating about this guy. The kind of speculation is whether he would be maybe kind of three things. Like one, he might be like a force-sensitive stormtrooper, might be conflicted about kind of rethinking his life now. He may or may not be a Jedi. Because from what I understand, this is going to be our main guy. He's going to be kind of our Luke Skywalker for the film, so to speak.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense then.
And so because there might be a connection. Oh, sorry.
A stormtrooper this time.
Yeah, so the question is like whether he's an actual stormtrooper or not, because he might be like Luke just dressing up like one for a mission, for all we know.
Right, but in the context of what they show, you would think that they wouldn't be showing that kind of thing in just a teaser. But then again,
I don't know. Maybe I could have sworn like way back in the day, the Star Wars trailer had like Luke Skywalker come in and say, "I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you," and he's in the stormtrooper outfit. So maybe. Yeah.
Do you know what happened to Tiki?
No, yeah, he's whenever these technical difficulties hit, usually he comes back. So I guess we just keep going with it unless he messages us or something. A while. Sorry, it happens a lot. It's Google Hangouts, as you can tell. Getting on here, a lot of technical difficulty goes along with that.
Yeah.
Trust me,
Okay.
it's much worse when you're alone when it happens. Just at least we're working together on this one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the next shot is, of course, the droid, the rolling droid.
Yeah, I think the term for these R2D2 type droids are like astromechs, if I'm not mistaken.
Astromechs.
I think that's the term.
Right. Well, that makes more sense because they don't actually speak any English, and they're a lot more like intelligent robots than droids.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I really like the design of this guy. Like a little rolling ball kind of R2D2. It's a little nostalgic. I think overall this little teaser, I should say, it has a lot of nostalgia and intensity to it with the music.
I like the design. I'm not quite getting how the function would work of it, other than maybe the head is attached by some sort of magnetic force.
Yeah.
That's really the only way I could see that working. But then again, how is the... Yeah, I guess I could see that working. It's less. It's more design and a lot less function.
Sure. I don't know. It seems to be working already. I'm assuming maybe
We're
there's
talking about the droid.
Yeah. Anything you want to say about Boyega real quick?
No, like I said, I was going to pose before my internet cut out was, do we think he's kind of pulling like a Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, where he's disguised as a stormtrooper, or do we think he's actually a stormtrooper?
Well, we both kind of were thinking different things, I think, about that. He seemed to think that he was disguised, and I seemed to think he was maybe a straight-on stormtrooper kind of...
Okay. I like how vague they make it, though.
I was going to say, I think the third theory also is that perhaps he's just a regular stormtrooper, might be rethinking his position, just joining the good guys.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe they were kind of a Battlefront. You know, those games are really successful, and that kind of storyline, people have been really wanting a storyline from the perspective of a stormtrooper for a long time, so I could see where they would do that.
Okay, cool.
I think all three are definitely viable options, because again, it could be just regardless, you have two versions, like a stormtrooper kind of rethinking his position in the world. One maybe being a Jedi, the other just being a stormtrooper. Equally great positioning. The third one just being kind of an homage to the classic film, was just dressed up like stormtroopers, being on our side. All viable options. Anyways, new droid.
New droid, yeah. Staffslinger, do you talk about your lighting issues you have with this?
Huh? I'm sorry. I don't know.
Your lighting issues?
Not really with this shot, but I mean, as you go further into the trailer, you kind of see a dissonance between CGI and practical effects, and a lot of that comes down to the way that they did the lighting. But like I said earlier, the more I thought about it, the more I assumed that this is just an early build of what they're doing, and that maybe they'll develop more more of the post-production as it goes along.
Yeah. Okay, so rolling droid, do we like it? Do we hate it?
I like it. I think it's kind of a neat design concept where you and I are kind of pounding out the details, like how it would actually move, and there might be some madness worked into them. I don't know how they. I had to look back to see how they shot it, because it looks like in my mind it's like it has like a little stick built in there, but how can it still move around? So,
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. To me, I'm kind of cautious about it because it just feels like a cutesy sort of design that would be out of Phantom Menace.
It looks cool. It looks practical. I love how it looks practical.
Me, I'm the exact opposite. I think it's all design over practicality.
That's very true. Yeah.
In the sense that to me, it looks like the little head on top is going to have to be balancing in a sense on this 3D ball, because that ball has full 3D motion. Like, it's not just moving in a 2-dimensional or a 4-dimensional
or something. Yeah.
8-axis ball right there.
Oh,
I think it's. Sorry.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say I think the reason for the design of this guy might be I'm a spitballing here an idea. It might work kind of like the unspecified purpose of the little not trash can, but the little moving Tonka truck cars in on the Death Star. Remember the little black cars that drove around? Little black on the Death Star, it had all these little black trucks rolling around the ground. They were kind of like surveillance droids or something.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe this sort of like a surveying of the area, the atmosphere, something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
I
Well-
can see the function of it in that sense. I guess it's cool. It just, I don't see it. It's one of those things that you could never really see existing in the real world. But I guess that's all the Star Wars universe.
True. Yeah,
I like the intensity of like it's just the intensity this trailer has in terms of this one particularly. Like we just start like as a classic Star Wars fashion, like a bump, and then basically right in the middle of the action, and we cut to this scene. Pretty much this thing scurrying off in a rush with the music blaring behind it. Like, oh boy, someone's in pursuit. At least that's what the teaser's selling us on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the fact that there's like pod racing stuff in the background? Are you happy that we're going to get some more pod action?
I didn't see pod racing.
I think those are just random ship parts.
Just random shit. Okay, a lot of people have been saying pod racing. I haven't really known either way.
Pod racing was probably one of the few good elements of Famous.
Out of it right now, and I'm not seeing pod racing. I'm seeing just random ship parts.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't see it either. I can't vouch for it.
All right. So you want to move on to the shot of the stormtroopers dropping?
Oh yeah, they look really cool.
They look cool. They definitely are redesigned to some degree. I can tell
Yes.
that.
Oh yeah, definitely redesigned for sure.
There's like they look a little slimmed down. They got some black around the helmets, and the armor looks shinier. Still looks practical. I'm sorry.
They definitely look designed for the new generation.
For sure,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Because years have passed. So how many? Do we know how many years passed exactly?
It's something like 30. It's got to be something like 30, maybe more.
I think what we just really need to extrapolate how old the actors are now. I think they pretty much matched it in as close as they could to that.
Right, yeah. But okay. I'm sorry.
When you look at the history of those movies and how they're timelined,
Like,
because of how they were made, where they was made prequel, the sequel, then the prequel, and then the sequel. It's like the design of those movies are really weird because right in the middle is this really like, at least in the timeline, is this really like dirty look. It's so it goes like sleek, dirty, and then sleek again. I mean, it's really interesting.
it's like I kind of feel like a lot of what we're seeing here, it's sleek in terms of it's what technology would have advanced to, but
it's a good mix at least of sleek and dirty.
Yeah. Because then again, like when we get to the X-wings in a second, like those things look rough as hell.
I think the idea. I'm just running with this. I think the idea might be that. Whenever you get a new technology mixed in this old kind, we have the old world full of the world full of the old technology, the used technology, and when we get something new, it's going to be new, just integrated into the world. So eventually, that new stuff will become old, and it's kind of a cycle, perhaps.
Right.
Yeah,
The integration of new stuff.
I was just going to say that, like, the X-Wing design has been around since the Old Republic, so it makes sense that those would look old because that's been around for such a long. That's like someone bringing out like a really old tank or something like that. You know?
And that's kind of what I think they're going to be doing. I kind of think, like, in the movie, of course, it's all speculation, but I kind of feel like, Oscar Isaac is going to be like, he's going to be like some weird sort of like, I don't know, like veteran X-Wing pilot that's getting like an elite group back together. I don't know.
Could you guys tell if that was Oscar Isaacs or not as the...
I'm pretty sure it's Oscar Isaacs. When me and Staffslinger first watched it, Staffslinger thought it was a Luke. I can definitely get the comparison there, but I'm pretty sure it's Oscar Isaacs.
Who did I think?
The guy in the cockpit of the X-Wing.
Oh yeah, I thought that was Luke.
Yeah, no, it's Llewellyn Davis. It's Apocalypse.
Yeah, these.
Yeah.
Two elements, real quick, about the Stormtrooper design I noticed in this teaser. One, you'll notice two.
People are saying it's Oscar, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, two elements like the guns have a little white on them and the armor's shinier, which again looks really neat. A gun thing, I just got to see a little more of it. I'll be fine at the end of the day regardless. I'm just saying I want to get a little used to it, I guess. But it was really cool. The atmosphere.
Stormtroopers are pretty shitty shots, so maybe the guns are meant to make their accuracy better.
Maybe.
I'm right back. I have to go for a second.
Sure.
Yeah, I like this atmosphere we got building on, almost like kind of a bit of a Wreck-It Ralph entering the Hero's Duty game mixed with a bit of like Saving Private Ryan, like they're entering a war zone of some kind.
Yeah, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I'm not really a big fan of the way this scene is lit.
Well, I think the idea of this whole thing is like you getting quick glimpses of an adventure you just want to be a part of, even though you have no idea what's going on.
I understand it's quick glimpses. I'm just saying in terms of that quick glimpse that we get of the stormtroopers. It just, I don't know. It looks like a scene that could be straight out of like I hate to say it, but straight out of something like Godzilla '98 or something like that. Like,
nah.
It just that the shade of blue is what bothers me, and I'm sure I'm being very OCD about it, but I don't know. Okay.
I love. I gotta tell you, it's a simple thing. I just love the shine on them. They look really cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So I guess going to the we see a girl in a land speeder. Who, if I'm gonna spitball an idea here, maybe that's one of the twins, Luke and Leia. I'm sorry, God no, that Han and Leia might be having.
Ooh, incest action.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is probably Leia and Han's daughter by the looks of it. She seems very capable.
Got some Leia in her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the so it's not concrete if they're gonna do the twins thing. I could have sworn it was at one point, but then again, like we don't have like a cast.
I think what they've been saying is they're just gonna take elements of the expanded universe, much like how Marvel takes elements of their comics, but it is not necessarily stuck in stone with what any of them would be.
Yeah, I mean, I presume that they're gonna keep the twins thing because it kind of makes sense. The twins are in the genetic line of the Skywalker family, which is kind of a neat idea. So.
Okay, so.
Right.
What you guys talking about?
We're talking about the girl in the land speeder.
Yeah, any thoughts about that?
The girl in the, you're gonna have to remind. This one's fun.
See a woman. She may or may not be in kind of a mix between. Looks almost like sand.
Yeah, I didn't recognize that vehicle. That's all.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, it looks like a new vehicle. Yeah, it looks like something like a mix between what Luke was driving around in A New Hope and also the speeder bikes from Jedi.
Yeah, because you look kind of dressed in sort of a similar kind of the.
Oh no, she's definitely dressed in like Star Wars garb for sure. She definitely looks like she's pulling off like a rebel look.
Yeah, it looks similar to kind of the Jedi jungle wear almost, like just suited for the terrain of Tatooine's desert land, I guess. Kind of similar to. Almost like a sand person, almost.
In a way, yeah.
It's like a mix between the sand person and the Endor's guard.
Right.
Stormtrooper goggles too.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, you sure was Stormtrooper?
Yeah. Huh. Okay, guys. Well, I'm kind of running out of time on this, so if you can just tackle the last two.
All right, so we talked about Red Leader. We saw the X-wings, pretty cool. They actually have more red in the costume and red on the stuff this time around.
Yes, I like that. Yeah. Okay, let's get to the thing that everyone's talking about.
What everyone I'm sure wants to hear about.
Well, getting to that, when we see the show, first of all, we see some really good locations. Look like definitely a better mix of practice. We actually get some actual sets here, but also there might be some green screen elements added. I'm sure.
Glorious practical sets. Oh my God, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, the practical sets looks great. I just love this little set. We got this black cloaked figure walking around, and we hear like the dark side, and then pretty boom, big controversial element comes out.
Yeah, I thought this was. I'm pretty sure this is the moon of Endor, or something like that.
Well, it's awfully snowy for
Endor.
I don't think it's Endor. I think it's a new place, to be honest with you. Like, it might people speculated Hoth.
Yeah, but I don't think Hoth is that forested.
They showed it snowed on Endor. Like, I could have sworn.
I don't think it snows on Endor.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying. I think it's a new location, just to kind of just go to some new places in the galaxy here.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool if it was Endor. I'd like to see Endor.
Interesting note, there is a Snow King, and his home is on Endor.
Huh. Well, I did not know that.
Oh. Interesting.
Also, over Warwick Davis is coming back, and I'm not sure if he's going to play Wicked or anything.
Oh,
but, you know, we got a new
oh dear God.
I'm just saying, the necessity to bring in Kenny Baker, even though, I mean, not knocking the guy, but he's a little old to put in the suit again, but I mean, if you're doing that, why not do it?
Well, I mean, they are bringing in Peter Mayhew, or whatever his name is, for Chewbacca, so...
I actually met that guy.
That's where I saw it. I saw Snow on Endor in a Star Wars Christmas.
Oh my God! Yeah, Kevin, because that's totally the best thing to judge Star Wars lore by.
Apparently,
Why doesn't George Lucas re-release that one?
Hold on. Apparently, it's the reason why Ewoks have fur.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, it is the first introduction of Boba Fett.
True.
Okay, so really quick, what do we think of this lightsaber? The I like to call it the Excalibur saber.
Yeah, like the lightsaber with the hilt, the little sword part they like at the bottom of it.
I think it's very practical.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's. I'm sorry.
It just makes a lot of sense. I mean, there's been at least a couple people who've had their hands cut off. Major characters who have had their hands cut off in the Star Wars universe. How many people who aren't major characters have had their arms cut off?
Right.
Huge thing.
Well, it's one. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I just think it's a good idea.
It's one thing to have the hilt, but it's another thing to have like lightsaber coming out of the hilt too.
Well, I heard they can also be detached as daggers, also.
That'd be
awesome. That'd be cool. Ooh,
yeah, I read it on Look. It's like I said, it's existed in the expanded universe already. That's why I don't know. And it has a name.
Oh.
I need to look it up, but I can't remember exactly what it was called. But there was a specific Jedi who was trained to use them.
Well, the thing about the thing about this lightsaber in particular kind of struck me to two things. Yeah, I mean, I'm game. A lot of people kind of rage against it because it's different. But as long as they kind of, it makes sense that even people customize their own lightsabers. It might fit into the plot of like how years have gone by possibly without Jedi's. Maybe people trying to emulate the Jedi's, build their own lightsabers.
I think it's a lot more practical than the Darth Maul one, at least.
Exactly. Nobody bitched. Everyone thought that was cool when Darth Maul had a double lightsaber.
And it was cool. It looked cool. It just wasn't practical.
There's even this guy on Rebels called the Inquisitor. He's got like a fancy lightsaber of like it's like a circle thing with two blades on it that kind of works. I haven't seen him use it in action, but it's like kind of a new design. So I'm saying.
The only argument. No, go on. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm open to new lightsaber possibilities by all means. I would like an explanation story, like an explanation, perhaps, or like seeing some extra usage out of it, like the dagger thing. What I thought it might do, like I don't know, maybe dagger sounds much better if they can get away with it, but maybe you twist it or something, then basically it shoots laser, kind of like shoots energy from it.
The only argument I've heard really that's valid against it is that there are supposedly there are existing elements in the Star Wars universe that could supposedly deflect lightsaber beams, which would seem more practical than actually using lightsaber beams to deflect lightsaber.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm explaining like he turns in. They basically those two things they shoot at and like they stab, kind of like the shootable daggers, perhaps. Like
stab yourself with your thing that's supposed to protect you. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
I'd be worried about that.
I think that's the true reason everyone's worried about it.
Wouldn't you rather use a material that wouldn't hurt you?
Right.
That's much more
like
practical.
actual sword hilt?
Yeah, maybe like what we're not seeing is in the next scene he detaches those two things as a dagger and hands it to people. Who knows,
That would be cool.
Right.
But one last thing.
Can I raise one like really out there theory that I doubt is true, but I think it's fucking awesome if it was?
What?
What if this cloaked figure that we're seeing in Exile turned into the dark side? What if it's Luke?
I like that idea, but at the same time, they've already established in their lore that Luke was the chosen one to change the tide, and I think that would kind of go against their established lore in there.
But what if he has a red lightsaber just because he's playing around with the technology, though? What if?
Well, I think I know who is the guy underneath
I like
the hood.
that idea. I like the idea that maybe Luke might dabble in the dark side a bit and then realize. But I think they already kind of played with that a bit in the original series.
It's just when I saw that shot of the cloak guy for the first time, like we've seen pictures of Mark Hamill on set, and he's got a cloak and everything, and he's got the big beard.
Right.
So
those are. I think Mark Hamill's going to be just the way that Disney handles their franchises and the way this franchise has set itself up. I honestly think Mark Hamill's just going to be your Obi-Wan character.
Oh, no doubt. That's totally how they're setting it up. For sure.
I think I know who the guy is. Pretty much. I'm saying, no offense to Mark Hamill, but I don't think he fits the bill to this guy.
No,
we don't know it's Adam Driver. If that's
I'm assuming it's Adam Driver because you're right. There's nothing.
It's Adam Driver, but we don't know.
I'm saying, looking at just the actors cast, I'm figuring he might be the guy.
Also, just so you know, that's what the internet agrees with you. But I don't know who that is. So
certainly, this could be Andy Serkis for all we know. We have no idea.
I've seen him in is like a trailer for a horror movie that looks kind of interesting. I haven't seen him in jack shit.
One last thing on the lightsaber I thought that was really interesting.
Definitely looks like a good bad guy, so I could see that.
He does have a very natural bad guy look to him for sure.
I feel bad. He's probably typecast.
Oh yeah. Believe it or not, the thing that kind of stuck out to me almost a little more than the whole hilt thing was that the lightsaber itself. I'm not saying this is a problem if they just have this in the movie, but it's just
a little longer and thinner.
Well, it's not just that. With the thinness, it's you'll notice it has this sort of the way I can describe it is like energized look. It's like it's kind of unstable material almost. So
I did notice that.
I'm thinking maybe a reason for the hilt thing, perhaps if they want to give it a story reason, which would be nice. Like I'm thinking, like people are using like new like combinations or new configurations of the kyber crystals. The thing makes the color of the lightsaber.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe maybe some certain combinations might make some unstable stuff. Again, I like the idea of kind of pushing like some ideas of lightsabers, like sort of like people have been experimenting in the time between things. We don't know like if the culture's died out so much. These are a random group of people like of the Sith kind of trying to recreate and do new stuff with it. Anyway, so our last scene.
Yes, the cum shot.
Like
then
Falcon.
I'm sorry?
The last scene is the Millennium Falcon doing like circles.
Oh yes, we hear the light.
Do a barrel roll!
We hear the light, the dark side, and the light. And we see the Millennium Falcon. I gotta tell you, I was geeking out so much. I was just looking at this. It's like, oh, and just seeing like the band, the Star Wars theme.
I hated this fucking scene.
What?
I honestly, I was just like, the shaky cam, the lens flare. It's got J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it's JJ's fingerprints all over it.
But it was so cool that it was so energizing, and it was like turning upside down. Then you were on the surface of the planet somehow. It was cool looking.
It has no reason to be shaky. It has no okay, I understand the lens flare, except that lens flare is like from the 90s.
Right.
It was shaky just to kind of get you like in the sense that you were around the thing.
I don't know. Is that really necessary?
I'm just saying for a teaser shot, you want something really kind of. I thought it's a little different. Than
you know what I hated about it? I hated the fact that it's like we know damn well who is in that fucking ship flying that ship, and we want to fucking see them, and we don't see them. It's just a cock tease. It's just a goddamn cock tease.
But also, we got TIE fighters.
They did this exact same effect in all of like the latest superhero movies when they take off into the air and shit like that. I just don't dig that effect. I think it's something that's.
I'm with you. It's kind of like a similar effect to like Man of Steel when he flies for the first time, right?
It screams to me like something that's it's just kind of easy and something that seems like it's going to be outdated in a few years. It's one of those things, you know, that you're going to watch this movie in like 10 years and be like, oh man, I can't believe they did that.
Can I talk about one thing really quick overall, just an overall thing about this trailer?
Sure.
What do you guys think of the decision to not show any of the main cast members?
It's a bold move.
Well, it's a teaser, so...
Yeah, it's a teaser, but they could have like snuck something in.
No, I mean, that's the whole point of a teaser is to, like, I don't know, like, not show you anything that's really. I assume that all the scenes that include the major cast are plot relevant, so
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Very true.
kind of tease you. So
Well,
I
think of
at
it.
least wanted to see freaking R2-D2 or something.
well, maybe R2's not in this movie. I don't know.
No, he's in the movie.
R2 better be in this movie.
No, guys, he is going to be in the movie.
Okay, but yeah, I do think it's a bold choice. I'm not necessarily complaining about it. It's just one of those things where it's like, as a nerd, it's like, God damn it, I want to fucking see, I want to see Han and Chewie at the Millennium Falcon. I want to see that shit and not just see the Millennium Falcon.
Well, no, Tiki, think of it.
Teaser is the point. Is it supposed to?
I know.
Want more, and it successfully did that.
It did that, yeah. Because now it's like I want to see some Han and Chewie action.
Exactly.
I badly.
Well, think of this.
Your little. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, think of this. We got it's kind of a gutsy move that we're kind of sucked in, or at least to those of us who are really kind of sucked into this thing without even seeing the Star Wars series. We're just getting into the universe.
Right.
It's kind of it's slowly getting us into the universe without seeing the characters. And I think it's kind of a gutsy move and step in the right direction. I mean, it's for a teaser, you know. The trailer, obviously, you know what shot I want to see in the trailer. If not, I definitely want to see this in the film, but I would love to see it in the trailer. There's one shot. I want to see a shot where you got like an Obi-Wan looking figure. You see the beard and we see the hood, kind of shadowed face walking up, and he pretty much unmasks and he quotes Obi-Wan somehow, like like saying, the classic Obi-Wan line.
I'm sure we're gonna see something like that.
And then he pulls back the hood and it's Luke. I want to see that shot.
Interesting note. I have no idea why, but the fans have named the little robot in the
God.
shot B4L1.
What?
B4L1.
Before L1.
Fans have gone to have took to naming the robot.
Of course. Okay. One final thought. I'm really looking forward to seeing Chewbacca in this movie. Chewbacca's always been one of my favorite characters. What do you think the look of Chewbacca is going to be? Do you think they're going to age him? Do you think there's going to be like some gray in his fur? What do you think?
A little gray. I think just a little gray.
Just a little gray?
Like maybe some gray streaks in the fur.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, like some gray streaks going down. Yeah.
Worst case scenario, maybe like one of like the I can't quite think of it offhand. Like I think there's like a darker like a patch of fur that might be gray, like a small.
Oh, okay.
A certain in the pattern of the fur. I think there's gonna be at least a section gray at most.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. I don't know. Like I'm a much bigger Jurassic Park fan than I am a Star Wars fan, but I think I am more cautiously optimistic about this than I am about Jurassic World. I mean, I love Jurassic World. I can't wait to see it, but this had more promising things in it for me.
There's only one thing that kind of made me kind of a little unsure about it. I mean, I'm going to give it a shot, and it looked really impressive. I got kind of the basic stuff I wanted. I saw, the Millennium Falcon's really cool to see. It's got the score. It's got kind of the build. I'm kind of sucked into the adventure, and the one thing that's kind of got me a little potentially worried about saying this is different, but we'll see how it goes. Is that you're right, Slinger. It's got kind of this dark coating on it in some scenes, like during the during the X-wing scenes, like a little kind of like a dark the dark shaders over everything, and the stormtrooper scenes like made me think. This is good. It looks a little better than some of the effects we got in the prequels. Again, a lot more practical. It makes me feel like I'm seeing some actual practical stuff with the CG, which is good.
It makes me so happy to see shit like that. Yeah.
I'm just attributing it to stuff I just need to get used to, seeing more stuff about just getting used to kind of the new style he's kind of applying to it, with still keeping a lot of the old stuff, which I really like. So that's the only thing kind of makes me a little, it's different, but we'll see where it goes.
All right, Staffslinger, overall thoughts?
Well, I'm excited because it's another chapter in the Star Wars franchise. But I don't know. This is the first time that I've ever really cared about somebody doing anything to the Star Wars franchise, and I don't know, because it's the first time that someone other than Lucas has touched the franchise. Other than
since the Empire Strikes Back and Jedi, yeah.
Well, with that, Slinger, let me raise this question for all of you. Again, the big thing to keep in mind for this film, this is kind of almost not as big as Toy Story 4's question is going to be, but this is kind of a make or break Star Wars. Again, there are a lot of preparations, but there's a spin-off films and sequels. And
could you imagine if this movie turns out to be just shit?
Yeah, the big question in this movie is there's a lot of pressure put on Abrams for this movie. He's got to capture the embodiment of Star Wars, and he's got to have something to it.
Just you hope it flops.
Just to see Disney like fucking scramble and recover from they're gonna, because before the movie even comes out they're gonna put all this merchandising.
Sure.
Oh man, just to see them recover from the movie being a giant flop would be hilarious. Shit, we got all this merchandise that won't sell. We've got these video games that won't sell. We've got this movie that won't sell.
Well, no, I'm sure Disney will sell their Star Wars merchandise. They're going to relabel it Star Wars Rebels, and I'm sure it will sell.
All right, well, Staffslinger, on your first episode on the So You Want to Be an Imagineer channel, you've already wished Disney some very unpleasant financial future. So good job.
Well, I'm sure they're going to be fine.
No, I know.
It's not like they bought Pixar for $7 billion.
I think the biggest worry here, the biggest worry is that people are going to go out of the theater and they're going to be like, well, that wasn't as amazing as I was expecting.
Well, honestly, I just want something to talk about for 2 hours on a podcast. And oh my God, can you believe how much it sucked?
Well, that's what we do with some...
Then I get the entertainment value, not them.
Right.
Okay. With certain Blue Sky or Illumination or occasionally DreamWorks movies. Occasionally.
Okay, guys. So my little brother's kind of running amok, and I need to fix that situation. So I kind of have to go. Any parting words, X-wing pilots?
Let me see. Hopefully, I don't have a bad feeling about this, but. May the Force be with you.
All right. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, no bad feelings here. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And let the hate flow through you.
Good.